Ladies and gentlemen, the Royal Rumble season is upon us. Kevin Owens fights Logan Paul for the United States Championship. Roman Reigns is in a four-way, which might be the fight of his life for the World Heavyweight Championship. And of course, we have the women and the men's Royal Rumbles, and we might just have a guest. Stay tuned. This is the Dangerous Jobbers Podcast.
People have been asking me to be the best in the world. Why, Eddie? Why? I'm better than you.
My eyes are red. I was in the back smoking a joint with their dad.
You know it.
Yo, I'm your boy Stevie Jobber.
And it's your boy Dangerous Duke.
And welcome back to the Dangerous Jobbers Podcast, putting wrestling over one podcast at a time.
Yes, sir.
And this is the Royal Rumble predictions episode. We almost got into it a lot before we even started, man.
Yeah, a lot of tension backstage.
We got a lot of debates going, man. So this is I said before, this is where we disagree a lot. Right around WrestleMania season, we tend to become enemies, man. This is when we should start doing the prediction battles, right around Mania season.
Right around Rumble and Mania season, man, because things were getting a little too tense backstage. We might have needed to call in a special enforcer, if you will, but we'll see how it goes.
That's a great term. Let's start with the matches, man. Of course, we had to begin with the U.S. title. Logan Paul, the United States champion. If it's hard to believe, I'll say it again. Logan Paul, the United States champion, the champion of the United States.
Yeah, don't think anyone had that on their bingo cards for wrestling in the 2020s.
Yeah, and never thought I'd be saying it, accepting it. Like, I believe it. Like, no, it's true. This is the United States champion. Anyway, he will be defending against Kevin Owens, the modern day Stone Cold, on the road to WrestleMania. What are your thoughts on what the angle is for Kevin Owens winning, losing, Paul holding to Mania, maybe? What's the angle here?
Well, I will say I like the fact that this past SmackDown, what they did was they tried to tie in a little bit of history there, not too much, but like try to make it seem like there is a story to be told with Logan's first ever appearance in a WWE ring getting stunned by KO. I do like that they tried to tie that in a little bit, but I mean, it's an interesting match. I think it's going to be a fairly entertaining match. This is the type of people you need to put Logan in there with. Those that are going to make the match entertaining, styles that balance well with one another, and Kevin can make almost anybody look good in the ring. So I don't think they missed with this one. I think this was the perfect match for Logan to have.
Yeah, I agree with you in styles, man. Kevin is great at making anybody look good, but especially with that brawler style of Kevin Owens, and how Logan is still kind of rough in the way that another person we'll mention later in the Women's Rumble might be, because they're very athletic, but they might not have a grip on just everything yet. They still need to be led. So with those kind of people, Kevin Owens is really good because he can craft the perfect moments for them to shine and still surprise people with what he can do as well. So I think this is going to be a really good match. But who do you think is winning?
So for me, again, in 2024, I can't believe I'm saying this, but Logan Paul, the United States champion, versus the challenger, Kevin Owens, I feel you need to keep it on Logan. I feel you need to keep it on Logan, have him build up that heat a little bit more, get him rolling some more, right on into the WrestleMania show as the champion. So I'd say you have him win and just ride him on to WrestleMania.
Could I play devil's advocate for just a second?
Sure, by all means.
How do you feel about somebody costing Logan Paul the United States Championship and Logan Paul going to WrestleMania with said person so that Kevin Owens can take the United States Championship and actually have one of those Gunther type matches where Kevin might win, but the highlight of whoever that person is on that WrestleMania stage with him can make a drastic difference to how he's looked at as a character.
It would
That
just
way we still have a celebrity match and Kevin Owens gets the US title in some legitimate match.
See, it would just depend on who the person is who interferes, but for me personally, I already have an idea in mind for who Logan's going with at Mania,
Mm.
and it doesn't make a difference that Logan's a celebrity. So I feel like I'm still good with mine, but I would like to hear what your opinion on it would be.
So you don't have Bad Bunny interrupting Logan Paul so they can go to WrestleMania celebrity versus celebrity.
Oh no, not Bad Bunny, no. So the way you want me to throw out the way I was gonna look at it?
Yeah, sure.
All right, so I was still gonna have Logan win, cheat the win, obviously.
Mm-hmm.
Roll on into Mania when you got to find him a challenger. Like you said, it's a celebrity, so it's got to be a match of significance. He's already the U.S. champ, so that's going to make it significant. And then who else do you throw in there with a celebrity? You throw in another megastar. So I was going to say have the Mania match for the U.S. title, Logan Paul versus LA Knight.
Yeah, I like it. I like Logan Paul versus LA Knight. That actually makes a lot of sense considering SmackDown. LA Knight's definitely not going to WrestleMania with him again. If they're not gonna, I don't know. Maybe they could. Yeah. Okay.
Because
I
then
like
you
it. I like your idea. I like your idea.
because then it serves a purpose. You get LA Knight in a WrestleMania moment, probably wins the US title. Logan gets a solid match with somebody who can go on the mic as well.
Mm.
You check all the boxes.
And Logan Paul is free to disappear until the next time we need him.
Yep.
I'm not upset about it. I'm not upset about it at all. I enjoy that. Okay. Well, I'll be honest with you. I was playing devil's advocate, but I'm on the Logan Paul side as well. I think Logan has to keep it till Mania. It just does more for the publicity of the United States title of the company to keep it on Logan.
Yeah.
He's a great ambassador of the company, to be honest with you. Nobody, quite frankly, there's nobody on the roster with the same amount of draw as Logan Paul. So it's best kept there,
Mm-hmm.
at least for now, until we figure out what we really want to do while we're elevating everybody. I'm a fan of Logan Paul keeping the United States Championship. Wow.
Weird to
Wow.
say. Weird to say, to say the least.
Wow. All right. Are you as much of a fan of that outcome in the Fatal 4-Way? Roman Reigns, the tribal chief, your tribal chief, Roman Reigns, the longest reigning, 1,000+ days in there with the Viper, Randy Orton, the phenomenal AJ Styles, Evil Ways, AJ Styles, and the man we mentioned earlier, LA Knight. Yeah. Where you at? Where's your head at? What's the play? How are we getting out of this?
So the play for me is they had to do something different. Roman has beat everybody he's went up against in a singles capacity. Hasn't had many triple threat capacities. He's had a couple matches, but he still won every match he's been in. Almost too easily with the help of his bloodline. So a fatal 4-way just made clear sense. In a way, it kind of like levels the playing field almost. You figure you got Roman, you got Jimmy, you have Solo, and then you have the three on the other end. So in a way, it kind of levels the playing field for everyone else involved. However, with that being said, I do think this will still be the toughest and probably the most entertaining match wrestling wise that Roman's been in as the champion. Arguably up there with Jimmy, or not Jimmy, up there with Jay. But I still feel at the end of the day, the tribal chief will still remain as our champion. My only question is who takes the fall?
That, ironically enough, was one of my only points on this match. Was who do you have as the fall guy? Because this crazy, and I think somebody might have brought this up. The crazy thing about Triple H's system, right? God's gift to wrestling, Triple H. The crazy thing about a system is that because it elevates everyone, it's very hard to tell who's supposed to lose at times.
Mm-hmm.
And this is a story where there has to be, to me, the only answer would be there has to be a B story that makes the fall guy okay. Because the problem is no one here story-wise should be losing. LA Knight is far too hot to lose clean.
Mm-hmm.
Randy Orton just came back, and the moment he came back, he was number 2 good guy on the whole roster, probably.
Mm-hmm.
Probably right behind Cody.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think he's in front of Jay.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like number 2 good guy immediately upon return. He can't lose. And then you have AJ, who just adopted probably his, I don't want to say his best character, but his for
You could just say he's
for
under a
lack
new
of a better term, he's come back in his biker taker era.
Yeah.
So that version of him exists around the thought of doing anything possible to win.
Yes.
So for him to be the fall guy just wouldn't make any sense anyway to that character. So I could see how in a normal instance the play would be to have AJ be the fall guy because AJ has the immunity of being AJ Styles, so his heat doesn't really rely on wins or losses. But in this instance, is this character, he's not supposed to be the guy to lose. So there has to be some sort of B story. The question really is, what is the B story coming out of this that makes a fall guy okay? We have to even come up with a story to make it possible for somebody to lose and not lose any momentum.
Honestly, I feel like the one who suffers the least, and I hate saying this, who suffers the least from being the fall guy is Randy. Just think about it. Randy's the most established guy out of everybody in this match, more established than Roman career-wise. He's already a 15-time champ. He's already won 2 Rumbles. He's done everything. He's accomplished every goal that there is to accomplish aside from beating Flair and Cena's record. And you can set it up to a way where Randy's like the last guy standing on everyone. Like LA Knight's out of it, AJ's out of it, down to Roman and Randy. Randy just like RKO's him. And then it could be a scene to where like he's tried to pin him, he can't pin him. Roman keeps kicking out. Randy gets like into that dark place where he's just like, you know what, I got to do anything right now, and he like starts gearing up for that punt kick, and he just like gets ready to tap back into that old way, and then Solo, like not even Jimmy and Solo, literally just
Solo,
Solo, him and like
which is
Solo
better for
just
story.
beats the hell out of him, spikes him, all the crazy, or whatever you can think of to keep Randy down.
Yeah.
Roman sets up, gets the spear right after everything, or the Superman punch after everything, whatever you want to do. Gets that 1, 2, 3. And then going forward, Randy's just on a beeline trying to get Solo. Solo could even be in the Rumble match.
Solo getting Randy at Mania.
Yeah, and you could even have Solo in the Rumble match getting down to like the final 5. And Randy just come in out of nowhere, because Randy won't be in the match most likely. Just come out, eliminate Solo, and then him and Solo just brawl all the way through, like up the ramp and out of the arena and shit like that. And that could just be their MO, the two of them just trying to kill each other every time they see each other.
I would love that. I would
And
love
then
that.
you
And
and
I'll
then you
add,
take that to Mania.
yeah, I'll add a little extra creative to the punt kick arc if we can catch Roman like devastated, about to see Randy take off on the punt kick right before Solo catches him. Just so we can emphasize it, like that would have been it. And like Solo just saving his ass. I think that's been most of this arc now for Roman. Is just it's over almost every time, you know.
Yeah.
But yeah, I like that story. I like that story as a beeline. I don't have any real alternatives. Because it's just hard to find a way to, unless you take two of them to Mania or to the next pay-per-view.
Yeah.
But then what two do you go with, you know? I like that story. I like Solo getting a match out of this being the story of the fall guy, because then it's nobody's fault really. Solo did it. Yeah. Yeah. Outside interference is always the best answer with Roman. Right? No one ever loses if the bloodline costs them the match. I dig that. All right. Do we end this with women's? Do we end this with men's?
Let's end it with the men's Rumble. So let's do the
We'll end it
women's
with the
Rumble
men's
first.
Rumble. So just give me, first off, let's talk NXT spots. The women's Rumble is always more exciting to me personally, just because there's, just for sheer lack of depth, there's always going to be more surprises in the women's Rumble. And I don't have a problem with that, because I feel like they work on a system where they don't want to have too many, they don't want to have anybody they don't have anything for. Especially this kind of system, if they don't have anything for you, they kind of don't want you to sit around upset that you don't have anything. So they really only keep people that are in something to a degree. So who's the people that you think are the surprises for this year's Rumble? Who you think is coming back? What do you think are the call-ups from NXT? Who do you think is back from injury? Maybe somebody from free agency.
Okay, so for the women's roster on NXT, I'm gonna go with, you know what? I wouldn't be mad if they brought in Roxanne Perez again. Brought her up for a Rumble, because I know they brought her up last year for last year's Rumble, so I wouldn't be upset with that. Trying to think, who else would there be? I wouldn't be mad with either of them girls from Chase U, with JC Jane and Thea Hale. And then if I gotta pick, I'll pick one more out of it. You know what? Is Tiffany Stratton injured or is she still there?
I'm not sure. Last I saw Tiffany Stratton, she lost that field hand match, and
Or you know what?
I'm
Let,
not
let,
sure what happened to her
let,
after Deadline.
let's not even do that. Let's just Nikita Lyons.
No comment. So my NXT picks.
No comment. No comment. Go ahead.
No, my NXT picks might be I want to see people I haven't seen before that are doing really well. They called Ivy Nile up. I wouldn't mind seeing. I'm so mad that Cora J got injured again, which we talked about. Off air. I wouldn't mind seeing. I wouldn't mind seeing Gigi Dolan because now Gigi Dolan's by herself. I wouldn't mind seeing.
I want to take out my Nikita Lyons pick now because Gigi completely blanked.
I wouldn't mind seeing.
Damn, I forgot about that.
I wouldn't mind seeing Blair Davenport. I don't know how much more she has left to do in NXT if they're not going to give her the belt. So it'd be good to see her up on the main roster. I wouldn't mind seeing. What do I also think? Lash Legend, bro. Lash Legend.
True.
I would not mind seeing Lash Legend. That's been somebody that has really impressed me over the last year. Lash Legend has stepped it up.
Yeah, Lash Legend has done pretty well.
Goodness, especially her in Deadline. Yeah, Lash Legend has been really, really impressive. I would not mind seeing Lash Legend in the Women's Rumble, especially since she's so head and shoulders above everybody that it would be such a fresh, new, athletic, dominant face in there. And we'd never see her face to face with Rhea, but we'd see her head and shoulders above the women's division, and everyone for a minute would be like, who is that chick? And even if they don't call her up after that, everyone's going to remember her from the Rumble and be waiting to see her again. I'd love to see Lash Legend. But let's talk about the names that are obvious, man. What are the names out there in the free agency? Guess who just said goodbye and had their last match in TNA? Trinity, who just lost the TNA Knockouts Women's Championship, was seen saying goodbye on Twitter and having her last match. Dude, is Trinity coming home? It's just in time. It's just in time.
Like that.
You know,
I would like that.
I would like to see Trinity. Do you see Trinity winning if Trinity returns?
Possibly. I could definitely see Trinity winning. I'm just looking something up real quick because there's someone I have in mind that's a legend, but I want to see how old they are before I throw their name out there. So give me a second. But yeah, Trinity, I would not mind seeing her win the Rumble. So I have a legend in mind. Oh, see, damn, she's kind of old, but you know what? Just because she says she wants to come back, and I would love to see her in a Rumble. Can we get Miss Jackie Moore in there? Can we get Jacqueline in there?
Jacqueline?
Do you think it's possible?
It depends on how Jackie's looking these days. I have no idea.
I mean,
I don't know what Jackie looks like.
She's saying she could go for a match or two.
If she can go, by all means. Jackie was amazing.
She did air it out there to Triple H, like if you want her for a Rumble, she would love to be a part of it.
And by all means, like we've gotten Ivory, we've gotten everyone else from that era, really. So why not? Why not Jackie?
Yeah,
I
you
got
don't need.
Victoria. That was all I asked for.
Yeah, you don't even need Jackie in there for too
You know
long.
what I
You,
mean?
you can let Jackie get like a good
I
6 minutes.
think we got everyone we asked for. We eventually did get Melina.
Mm-hmm.
We eventually did get. We got Molly.
We got Michelle McCool.
We got Michelle McCool. We got Victoria. That was the one I really wanted.
Mm-hmm.
We got Karma even. Um, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. I think.
yeah. So
I
I
think
think I think you got to throw Jackie in there.
like now. Yeah, Jack is the perfect time to put somebody in there.
Do you
Yeah.
think? Do you think there's a name out there that people whisper about that they've seen training in the ring with her husband? Do you think that there's an like even a percentage of a chance that we get a certain crazy chick back for maybe just a rumble?
Yeah.
Think it's possible?
Yeah. I mean, I don't see why not. Especially if it's a one-off.
Mm-hmm.
Because I'm not sure if she's tied up her other obligations to return full time, so it would have to be a one-off, which I feel like is safer for everyone.
And not only that, I feel like that would like set the arena on fire.
And then you have the addition of the people you want in the Rumble with Roxanne Perez. Nikita Lyons then would be very acceptable because they have a tie to said company um that she's now a part of.
Mm-hmm.
I see a lot of circles connecting. It does seem like it could be very possible, but we don't know that WWE's relationship with said husband is as strong with said wife. So
Yes.
that would be the only factor there. But I think I would pop like Edge came back if I saw that person return.
Yeah.
Um,
I think they would need to sit around the director's table with some Pepsis and some comic books and try to figure out a way to wow the women of wrestling if for
yeah,
this that person to return. If you know, you
yeah,
know.
that would be a crazy thing to happen. Um,
And crazy is her superpower.
but let's talk about the real fight we had before this started, man. We seem to think that Jade uh is definitely making an appearance. I think that's the part we both agree on. We
Yes.
both agree Jade has to be it is expected for Jade to show up in the women's rumble, if nowhere else. Even if that is the one off until after Mania, I expect Jade to appear in the women's rumble. But you have a little bit different of a take. So what do you feel?
Yes, I feel Jade will be at the Royal Rumble. I feel Jade will be the number 30 entrant into the Royal Rumble. And I happen to also feel that Jade will win the Royal Rumble. And I think this sends her straight to Rhea Ripley. That is my humble opinion. It could be wrong. It could be right. I don't know. But this is why we have a wrestling podcast to talk about these things, because I think that's the better play. Do I think that there's another match that makes more sense? 100%. But given the fact that you have a women's champion right now that is unbeatable, that nobody can even touch, I feel like this is the best play for you. I've talked about a mommy effect before. I feel like this is the perfect way to stop that mommy effect.
Mm.
The irresistible force and the immovable object of the women's division personified.
So
That's what I say.
give me your final four. We know you got Jade winning. Give me your final four, and I'll give you a scenario. What's
All
your
right.
final four of Jade winning the Royal Rumble?
So the final four would be Jade, Bianca, See, I can't even give a final four. Jade, Bianca, Bailey.
I got my 4. It's 3 of those.
Becky? Question mark?
Becky? No, I'm kidding.
I can't even think. I don't know who else it would be. I mean,
I'm kidding.
somebody
My
from
4,
NXT.
my 4 would be those 3 women: Jade, Bianca,
Bailey.
Bailey. My 4th would be Nia Jax, and I would submit to you this scenario: Nia Jax wins the Rumble because Bianca and Jade cost each other the Rumble match, and Bailey just ends up losing, thus spiraling into something with Io Sky.
Yeah.
But I would see Nia Jax winning and challenging Rhea Ripley because that's the only seed planted for Rhea thus far that seems like
It could
also a solution to the mommy effect. That's my prediction. I predict Nia Jax. I feel like it's a surprise. I feel like it's only a surprise because people don't want to believe it, but it's also storyline because they planted the seed already, and Nia Jax has been unstoppable.
All right. So I'll ride with you on that coattail for a second. Nia wins, right? Say Nia wins. What is Rhea? Is she a heel or a face? How would you describe her?
No, by this time she's face. People don't boo mommy. So she would play the role of a Stone Cold at that point because
She just talks down to you because you like her.
she's naturally a heel, but at this point she's so beloved that you can't help but cheer for her. She's reached that Triple H apex.
Okay.
So
So
she would
Nia is the heel
probably
that
be
we
the
hate.
face. Nia would be the heel because
It's Nia.
we don't want mommy's reign to end. It's like the opposite of Roman's reign. We kind of love mommy as champion. There's no chink in her armor, and we're not really tired of it yet. The only problem is there's nobody else. So so we just want more fresh meat, really. And Nia Jax would be the heel because she would be the force that seems like she could be the one person that's enough to take her belt. And we don't like Nia because people just naturally hate Nia.
Yeah,
So
she kind of just shows up and oozes like
based off genuine crowd and genuine like character reaction, your faces and healers are already chosen. And then they go into the dynamic doing the is she or is she not the answer to Rhea Ripley.
Okay, you might have swung me.
My money stays on Bloodline, man. My money stays on Bloodline, and that can be the tie up to her story. It could be Paul showing up.
Okay, you lost.
Throwing the dub, throwing the alley oop. All right, and then now I'm reaching.
You lost.
Now I'm reaching. You're right. I'm reaching. I'm just
but
dreaming.
Yes,
now.
okay. You might have swung me with Nia Jax. I'll give you that. I'll probably be more excited for the SmackDown title match, but you've swung me.
Well, at that point, I would feel like the SmackDown title match would be Bailey and Io,
which is why I'm more excited for it.
And Jade and Bianca would be like the other match that's
night one, hopefully.
Yeah. That's night one, hopefully, so we can be there for it. All right, we talk Final Fours, we talk favorites, we talk NXTs, we talk returns. Is there any names we left out that you might want to mention in the Women's Rumble? Anybody special you might be expecting to see or could be but do you feel Sasha Banks is coming back?
I think it's going to be a stretch. I think it's a stretch. I would never say never. God, I sound like an employee.
Never
I
say never.
I
He's a
would never.
plant.
Yeah, I
He's a
would
plant.
never. I wouldn't rule it out 100%, but I would rule it out maybe 95%, 90%.
90%.
I feel like there would have to be a lot of reaching out and making amends for that to happen. I feel like it's going to take a little bit of time. It's not going to take quite as long as CM Punk did, but it's going to take some time.
You don't think it takes Hunter just calling her and being like, "Hey, it's Papa H."
But if someone
giving her the old McMahon, you ready to come back to
but
work?
if someone reaches out, it's
We're
gonna
gonna use
have
you.
to. It's gonna have to be Hunter. I don't think it could be anyone else that mends that fence except for him. Like
Well, he seems so accessible.
Yeah, like it couldn't be a Nick Khan. It couldn't be it couldn't be somebody else on the Endeavor board. It would have to be Triple. It would have to be Trips. Trips would have to be the one to mend that fence and bridge that gap.
And I don't feel like it would be a hard, like.
No, it's not going to be hard. It's just going to be a lot of,
saying?
you know what, involved.
I think you have a
This
meeting
makes
with.
everything
I think
a
you
little
have
bit better.
I think you could even have an on-phone conversation that would, probably lead to a face-to-face conversation. But you could probably have a conversation over the phone with like Hunter and talent relations, whoever the head of talent relations is.
I think that's going to even be tough.
Yeah, but I mean, like,
I think you need to phone in a friend on this, and you have to phone in her best friend.
Well, all right. Well, then have the talent relations and Bailey. I just say talent relations there because, and I'm sorry, I'm in front of the camera with my hand
You're
here.
good.
But I say that and have talent relations and Bailey. I say have talent relations there just because I feel like Sasha's gonna like want certain things to be, different. Not to say that she's gonna be a pain or whatever, but just to ensure things are not the way that they were before, as far as how she's treated or how she might be viewed amongst the higher ups in the locker room or whatever. So you have talent relations there to hear it firsthand. Like, I don't want things to be like this if I come back.
Let's see who's talent relations right now. Let me see. Oh, they don't even have who their talent relations is on the website.
Oh shit.
Let me see who's.
Oh,
who the hell is this person? All right.
Yeah, they said that's defense against the dark arts now. That's we don't even want to name a teacher for that position anymore. It's a cursed position that had talent relations, man.
Okay, if this is correct, then good job to them for keeping this woman hidden. But apparently it is Kristen Altman, someone who's been with the company for 16 years and is now VP / talent relations operations. Maybe it helps that it's a woman. I don't know.
Could be
somebody who's been there for a long time.
Lot more considerate, a lot more, empathy,
And maybe they said she's had the job for over a year, so maybe she hasn't pissed anybody off as talent relations. So maybe that means she's doing a good job.
If you listen to Cat Williams, most women do the jobs way better than the men. So
yeah, so maybe we could get it done. Well, maybe we could take that 90 and bring it down to 80.
We can bring it. I think we can do it, man. I think she'd come back for Hunter. Hunter's a miracle man with talent relations.
He makes it work.
The man pulled Cody and CM Punk, dude. Like
within a year of each other.
Sasha be within a year of each other? Would Sasha be so difficult? You know what I mean? Is that so out of the realm of possibility?
It would just take some of this. That's all. Just a little bit of.
Because after CM Punk came back, I was like, "Yo, anything is possible."
There is nothing this man can't do.
Triple H can do it all, man. This man is. Whew.
Yeah, but let's get into this men's rumble, man. Let's see what we can get through.
Let's not spend so much time, man. The men's Royal Rumble. Give me your NXT guys. Who from NXT is coming up in this?
Well, I'm telling you right now, we had Mello last year, right?
Mm-hmm.
This year, I need Trick.
Trick.
This year, I need Trick. I say, give me Trick. Give me Tony D'Angelo. Give me.
It might be time.
Trying to think who else. Give me Braun Breaker. Why not? Throw Braun Breaker back in the mix.
Yo, short. I love what Braun and Corbin are doing for the Dusty Classic.
Yeah, they're the Wolf Dogs.
The Wolf Dogs, baby.
Thought of that name in the shower.
Throw me in the shower. Yo, they are too funny. Yeah, I like those picks.
Yeah, and then if I'm gonna go on the Legends train, I don't want to use too many Legends because I don't want them to like oversaturate the Legends pool. But I want X-Pac. I'm just gonna be frank with you, X-Pac. I miss you. I need you back at least for one match. So give me X-Pac. As crazy as this may sound, dude, just make it happen. He's been backstage for far too long. He can throw on the overalls one more, or throw on the singlet one more time and just do a rumble because I don't think he's ever done one. Give me Jason Jordan. I'll take Jason Jordan in a rumble match.
You popping for Jason?
I'll be happy because of considering how he went down. I'd be happy for him. And then give me Jamie Noble.
That's the one I want. That's the one I want.
I'll take Jamie Noble again.
I think I want Trick. For a fact, I want Trick.
Whoop that Trick.
Whoop that. I like. I want Trick. I want Charlie Dempsey. I want. Who from the men do I really like this year? I want Braun because I think Braun has one of the best spears today. Like Roman spear is really good, but watching
Braun
Deadline, if you go back and watch Deadline,
Braun gonna kill you.
If you go back and you watch Deadline and you watch Braun come in that Deadline match and just hit stick everybody, it's some of the craziest. It's one of the craziest spears I've ever seen. It was like the Gore.
Yeah.
It was, oh my god. It was like, it almost felt like Goldberg, how the way you just hit him with such a force.
Yeah.
And he just kept it going. The man had, I want to see Braun. I want to see Braun because him spearing person after person after person. Just for that spot, just to see Braun just spear the living hell out of people. I want to see Braun. What was that? Braun, Trick, Charlie. Do I like Gacy? He's not doing anything. Gacy needs something. Give me Gacy. Give me Bo Dallas, bro.
I'd be okay with Bo.
I would love to see Bo Dallas. I don't care. I don't need Uncle Howdy. I don't need any continuation of a story. I promise you. If you just debut him as him again, there's people there that believe in Bo Dallas still.
Yeah, like, I'll take Bo.
And he doesn't have to be the same Bo. He can be a Bo that's just him. You know what I'm saying? Bray already painted that way to just kind of be who you are as a character. So just have Bo come back as
Yeah,
Bo, dude.
he could be B team Bo, or he could be like Bo with the one glove when he was with Miz.
Yeah, but he can also just be
He could be
him.
Bo
Like he can just
leave.
be
He could be whatever.
IRS kid Bo.
You know what?
Like be
Because
yourself. Like, cause that's the last thing Bray was kind of like a thing of himself. Like just be like a you spinoff.
you said Joe Gacy, and I don't know why this two different characters. I don't know why the hell this made me think of this person when you said Joe Gacy. But you remember when a few years back they had the Royal Rumble where the commentators were in there? Like Michael
Hmm.
Cole took his blazer off, had the singlet on, and then
Hmm.
JBL took his blazer off, got in there. Jerry got in there. Literally, all three announcers went in. What if they did a reiteration of that?
Yeah, I could see that.
Like you have your three-man commentary team, but this time you only have two people going, and
Hmm.
your three-man commentary team is Michael Cole in the middle, Wade Barrett over here, and
Oh, you
Corey
had wait.
Graves
Okay.
over here. Like
Yeah,
you,
they could
and
do
then
that.
your two commentators that go in are Graves and Barrett.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah,
Because
you
that's
could
a
do that.
SmackDown one and a Raw one right there, right?
And they're
Yeah,
both
Graves.
cleared.
Yeah,
Which I
Graves is Raw, Barrett's SmackDown. No,
which
yeah,
especially around Rumble season, I don't see why they don't do that more. It's just more fun. Like
yeah,
have as many people that should not be in the Rumble. I
yeah,
feel like as much as you want to highlight the roster, part of the point of the Rumble is to introduce surprises.
yeah.
So
Like just dedicate 4 spots to
have a little more fun with
goofiness.
have a little more fun with the Rumble concept itself and just have some people in there that should not be in there.
Yeah, I would say you have 4 spots for like designated, like legends that are like okay, or maybe even 3 spots for designated legends that are like you'd be happy to see that
Hmm.
are like oh shit he came back, and then you just have 3 spots for sheer like entertainment value.
Hmm.
Like if there was still a Doink the Clown, throw a Doink the Clown in there for shits and giggles.
But I'll tell you what stops me from thinking that's gonna happen. The fact that there's only 2 matches, and aside from the fatal 4-way,
One singles match.
that's a use of less than like 10 men,
There's
which
only one
leaves a
singles
lot,
match.
and there's no women's match other than the women's rumble, which leaves a lot of roster to fill these matches. So I don't think the
Yeah.
surprises is going to be a lot this year.
Yeah,
But
it's just gonna be using the roster for the most part.
and if they are, they're probably going to be in the men's rumble. But I do still expect Jade and Trinity to possibly return.
Yeah.
Um, but for the men's rumble, let's get back to it. We had our NXT guys, we had some of our legends. What's your final four looking like? Who do you think is winning? And let's send this thing out.
I'm going Cody, Punk,
Gotta be.
McIntyre, just
Sadly.
just because you need a heel there, and
Mhm.
I'm stuck on 2 people, man. All right, you know what? I don't really think this guy's gonna be in the final four. I'm just gonna make that known. I don't really want him in the final four. Don't think he'll be in the final four. But just because I picked him when we did our booking to Mania battle,
Oh,
I'll throw Solo in there. I'll throw Solo in the final four. I was gonna say Jay, but I'll throw Solo in the final four, and then the winner. See that's where it gets tricky.
mm-hmm. Yeah, it's hard this year. It's not as much of a given as it was last year.
Um,
I don't think for either, actually. I mean, maybe for you because you believe in Jade, but I think both of them might be more of a toss-up this year.
Yeah, they are a toss-up. This is going to be the hardest pick. I'll just say Punk. I'll say Punk, and then Punk goes on to challenge Seth.
What are we gonna do with Cody, man? What are we gonna do with Cody? That's the question. That is the only problem with the way this year is lining up, is that if you don't give Cody a world championship match, what do you give Cody?
I think Cody does
unless you give him Gunther. That is the only equivalent, and it's not even an equivalent, but like it's the only appropriate back seat I feel you can take, unless somebody directly cost Cody the shot on purpose. Unless like Cody was to get Solo because Solo cost him the Rumble or something. Like it would have to be some sort of circumstance where that person directly interfered with what his goal was.
Yeah. And you know what? I think you do that. You have Solo directly cost him. I think that you have Solo directly cost him. Like Solo be eliminated by Cody. And then Solo just pull Cody, bring him down out of the ring. And then your final two are McIntyre and CM Punk. And Punk even told McIntyre he's going to eliminate his ass last just for shits and giggles. And then you have Punk eliminate McIntyre.
And then there's Punk and Seth at Mania.
Punk Seth Mania. Cody gets Solo. And he still gets his bloodline beef going. He still gets his bloodline match. Because Cody doesn't need to necessarily finish the story at a WrestleMania. He just has to finish the story. He could finish it at a Survivor Series, at a SummerSlam, at a whatever pay-per-view you want. He could finish it at any time. WrestleMania is not the be-all, end-all for you to finish your story. Sometimes the best stories have a detour. But yeah, Punk, to back on my point, Punk wins the Rumble, gets Seth at Mania, and then I had a whole other idea for Cody, but I like the Solo thing even better. So I'll say Solo and Cody at Mania. And then it sets us up for that night 2. Beautiful scenario. Tribal Combat.
Do you think The Rock comes back number 30 and wins the Rumble? Do you?
Now look, see, I feel like that would be doing too much.
That would be doing too much.
You don't need Rock to win the Rumble to get Roman at Mania. You just don't. Nick Aldis already has done shown he will put whoever the hell he wants in that spot to get Roman. And that's really all it's going to take. Just Nick Aldis being like, nope, you got him. You got a problem with it. I don't care.
No, I think my win is, it's so tough to call. I think Punk wins to challenge Seth. Just because Roman is so undecided, and I don't know if Roman's gonna pull double duty. People keep saying that like it's such an option. I don't know that Roman would agree to double duty. I mean, and even if he did, I don't know that.
What do you mean by double duty? Like a triple threat?
Like a match night 1 of Mania and a match night 2 of Mania.
Nah, I don't see that.
I just don't see that. I see Punk's statement as main eventing WrestleMania being the original story.
Yeah.
I see that as meaning I am getting my night of WrestleMania and then Roman can have his. So I see Punk's as the only logical winner to the Rumble. Because that cements him and Seth at Mania, which is the biggest story for Punk at Mania.
Yes.
I see them figuring something else out for Roman because there's just too many questions and too many things are in the air. Honestly, I don't know, not to put it past Triple H and Roman, but I don't know that they know what Mania looks like yet, unless they're just buying time for The Rock.
I think that's what it is. I feel like because The Rock is your best case scenario for WrestleMania, because then you have a way to, even though you might not have something for everyone in the bloodline or bloodline affiliated, just by bringing The Rock back, you have that solid way of getting all bloodline people that are in WWE affiliated with WrestleMania, even if they're not in a match. Like, Solo's going to be involved at some point. Jimmy's going to be involved at some point. Jay will be there. You could probably even bring in some of the elders for this because it's so monumental. You could bring in the parents. You could bring in Rikishi. Alpha and Sika could come. Like, you could bring in
even probably
Trinity, Rock's mama. Like, you could bring everybody in. There's a way to do it. There really is. It's just it's gonna be tough to pull off.
Yeah.
And Philly would be a great place to do it because they have lots of affiliations with Pennsylvania as a whole.
And I wish we had bought night 2, but I gotta tell you,
hey, we got night 1.
We got night 1, and I'm very satisfied with night 1 because most times night 1 is the best night.
And we most likely gonna see CM Punk in a match.
And we're most likely getting CM Punk's WrestleMania that night, and I'm not mad at that.
Not at all. Never thought I never thought I'd see CM Punk match. So that's always a good thing.
We're gonna be in such a weird position in Mania where it's gonna be a world we never thought we would be in. I'm ready for the road, man. I'm ready for the road.
Like, you ever seen the movie Celtic Pride when they walk into the garden and they're like this and they just kiss the wall when they walk in because it's the last time. It's like the last time that building's gonna be there. I think I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna just actually do the Celtic Pride thing and kiss the wall.
It's gonna be crazy. Yeah, it's gonna be. It won't be the last time, but it might be a while.
No,
it might be a while.
It's gonna be it's a Mania in Philly for the first time in 20 years, 25 years, something like that.
Yeah. Who knows how long it'll be till we get it again. Yeah. But with that being said, man, let's take it home. We might hit this under an hour.
Yeah. So guys, that is the episode. Thank you for tuning in. You guys know where you can find us on all the platforms you listen to music or podcasts. We got YouTube, we got Spotify, Apple Music. You can find us on Instagram, Twitter, X, formerly known as Twitter. We got the Facebook as well, and we got the dangerousjobberswebsite.com. You go to that website, you'll be able to see all the dope stuff Stevie and myself do, the monthly spotlights, the wrestlers of the pods. You'll be able to listen to some of the older episodes as well. If you haven't checked out any of them platforms, make sure you get to them. Make sure you like, subscribe, hit the bells for the notifications so you stay up to date on everything we do.
Oh man, that was brilliant. That was brilliant, man. Thank you. Thank you for that. That was wonderful.
Man. But this is the Royal Rumble predictions episode of the Dangerous Jobbers podcast. Make sure y'all stay up. Make sure y'all stay blessed. And as always, stay dangerous.
People have been asking me to be the best in the world. Why, Eddie, why?